Okay, so that's me signed up for a 10k, 20k, a mountain midnight marathon, a Spartan obstacle course race, and an ultra in the next 5 months. What have I done? I'm Jago, and this is Fit at 50 something. Stay tuned and you'll find out what I've done. Right, so who am I? What is this? What have I signed up for? Where does it all start? Basically, my sort of running history is pretty brief. I only got into running last year, so I'm quite new at it, and really enjoyed it. The story of why I got there will come soon, but basically I've just gone a little bit crazy, as most people that fall in love with running and think they're indestructible do. And I've signed up for 5 events in 2025, and we'll see how I get on. Basically, it's a steep learning curve, and it's going to be a bit of a wild year. So, taking it back a little bit, I've never been fit, I've never been a runner. I've always been too big to run. I've been fat and overweight most of my life, and got into fitness a little bit in my 20s, tried to get into spinning and losing a bit of weight to get married. And that worked for a while, and then it went away again, and sort of partied hard and everything else and put on the pounds. In my 30s, I got into off-road motorbiking again. I've been into off-road biking and mountain biking and things like that, and also dirt biking and enduro. So that was a really big thing in my 30s, and I got back into that again, basically to train hard and do lots of enduros and lots of desert rallies, with the ultimate goal of getting to Dakar 2012. And me and a friend did that. We worked hard together, we trained hard, and we got to Dakar was then in South America, across Argentina, Chile and Peru. So it was going to be an epic journey, and I got fit for that and did really well in that, and had a fantastic time over there for that. After that, things slid in my 40s. I came back from my adventures abroad. We spent a couple of years abroad as well. Had a very active life whilst we was travelling and out in Chile and things like that. But coming back to the UK, things settled down a bit and got quite unfit, quite fat, and didn't run, didn't do much at all. That had to change, so I thought I'd better get fit for my 50s, try and get fit for 50. In 2019, I took up running again a little bit, just to try and lose some pounds and get on with it. I signed up for a half marathon and did a lot of training for that, but I didn't get there. Basically, I ended up doing a 10k along the way, and I was pretty pleased with that. I think that was like 54 minutes, so I was quite happy with that. And it's the first 10k I'd ever done, first race. But then the actual event, the 20k half marathon, got cancelled because of COVID, and then we went into lockdown, and everything, like, as you know, the world unwound a little bit. My body unwound with it as well, and again, basically put on the pounds again. Went from fairly fit to fairly fat. Quite a big marker. Sort of had too much of a good thing going on in lockdown, or let myself go, depending on which way you look at it. And ended up pretty big and pretty unsightly. So I never got fit for my 50s, and now I'm in my 50s and looking to get back into it again. Got into running for that reason, to get fitter again, and now basically shed quite a few stone from that. I was up at 240 pounds, 108 kilograms at my sort of heaviest last year, and that's basically this time last year, February 2024, March 24, I was about 108 kilograms. I'm now 89 kilograms in February 2025, and that's thanks to a change in lifestyle and diet and everything else, and dropping the kilograms right down. And because of that, I started to enjoy running, and found myself loving running, especially now I've realised and got into YouTube and found all these videos and things like that, and found out that actually running slow is the best way to do it. But hey, who knew? So Zone 2 is my best friend, and quite happy to go out there and plod along for ages on Zone 2. And that's what got me back into it. I'm more than happy as well to do some intervals and a bit of hill, and your park run 5k and push it sometimes. But it's great to know that when you get into it, slow is good, slow is fine, and 80% of your running, as most of us now know, is going to be slow. So started getting into running much more, really enjoying it. Thought, yeah, this is great. Let's do some more of this. And I wanted to get out in the wild and do some trail running and things like that. And I much prefer, I always have preferred running sort of stuff and out in nature rather than sort of city and urban landscapes. So I looked into trail running. That looked great. And obviously there's ultras, and they just looked epic. Found ultras and thought, wow, yeah, running the mountains, running the trails. Below the marathon. Marathon seemed a bit too midlife crisis for me, and also a lot of friends have done marathons, and to be honest, your times are always compared, and it's always a bit of a comparison thing and a bit of a competitive time to see what you do the marathon in. But ultras, God, no one ever thinks of doing ultras. Running more than a marathon, running double marathons, 100k, that's just ridiculous, right? Who does that? But you know, either epic Ironmen and things like that, or crazy, you know, crazy ultra runners. So I thought that's more my cup of tea. If you're going to go all in. And my motto at school used to be know your limits and double them. So so I thought, yeah, ultras sound pretty epic. I'll give an ultra a go. And I also found out then through a bit more rabbit hole dives on YouTube that actually ultras aren't all running. Bit of a secret, bit of a keep it under your hat sort of thing, but you know, there's a lot of walking in ultras, so it sounds pretty epic when you're running up a hill for 50 kilometres or 100 kilometres or whatever it might be. But a lot of that is, you know, is power hiking uphill, and I like the idea of using the sticks as well during the alpine walking, and you know, it's a bit more technical and everything else. So that sounded really good. So basically, I looked at that and thought, okay, this was October, November last year. I don't want to wake up in another 5 years' time being fat and overweight and basically, you know, nothing to show for it, no memories, no events. You got to grab life and make it happen, right? So I said, let's make 2025 a year to remember. Let's do some events in 25. Ultras and the trial running of ultras sounded awesome. I wanted to become an ultra runner. So I thought I'd sign up for an ultra, find the right sort of ultra. Where can we do it? When can we do it? So working back from that. Even though I'd done the 10k in 2019, I hadn't run much since, and you know, it was starting from pretty much base zero again. So 6 months needed for the ultra. Somewhere epic. I wanted it in mountainous or hilly regions. I didn't want to do a flat ultra or a towpath ultra or anything like that. I wanted to, you know, to do it out on the trails. And then this has progressed. I found the Xterra Snowdonia in July 2025, 12th of July. So I thought that's enough time, 6-7 months from now, when I was looking last year, just to sign up for that. But yeah, we'll be able to get into training and give me enough time basically from January onwards, train for 6-7 months into that, and give me a fighting chance to be able to do that properly. Not do it too quick, but build up slowly, week on week, month on month, etc. I thought there's plenty of time in there also for B races along the way. And I could get a 10k, 20k, and build up the mileage like that, and you know, and actually become a proper ultra runner. So I thought, excellent, ultras in. And then we also found the Spartan obstacle course race. Now, obstacle course races are pretty cool as well, and I managed to sign up my 19-year-old son to do that as well. So we're going to do it as a father-son team, which I thought was really fun. He's a bit of a gym goer, and will, you know, be a good asset to help carry me around. He's now started running in 10k with us as well. So I'm sure he's going to be an asset to me and help me around the course. So then we've got the Ultra Spartan Obstacle Course race. I was going to do a 10k and a 20k. So we've got 10k in March, 20k in April, Spartan in May. And he was saying, Dad, you haven't done a marathon. You can't do an ultra marathon surely until you've done a marathon. And I thought, well, there's a bit of a gap there. We could do a marathon in June, 5 or 6 weeks before the ultra, and that would be perfect. Looking around, I didn't want to do another road raced marathon. I thought that's a bit too pedestrian. Doesn't help me train too much either for Snowdonia. You know, I live in the Thames Valley. I don't have any hills and mountains around me, so getting training specific for Snowdonia is going to be pretty difficult. Anyway, I did find the Midnight Mountain Marathon, Penny Fan, Beacon's, you know, the famous Special Forces selection course. So that should be pretty awesome itself, and it'll be brilliant training for the ultra over Snowdonia, same sort of terrain, and that's 5 weeks, which is perfect timing really to have a good shakedown run for Snowdonia Ultra. So join me on that one, and let's see how we get on that. So 5 in 2025, what does that look like? Well, as you'll see here, we've managed to line up 5 awesome events, mostly off-road, mostly trial events, with 5, with a 10k first off up in March, a 20k following that in April, and then we've got the obstacle course race, the Spartan, in May. That's another 10k, so I'm hoping after the 20k in April we'll be more than fit enough and keep that up, doing a few more strength training obviously for the obstacle course race then. So from the obstacle course race we then go into June, and then June the 7th we've got the Midnight Mountain Marathon. Penny fan, Breacon Beacons, going to be pretty specific and really good sort of hill or mountain training for Snowdonia. So that comes at just the right point in the training block again, luckily. So I've been able to find these events that do sort of stack up, and that's 5 weeks before the Ultra in Snowdonia. So basically that will allow me to have that as my longest long run probably in time for Snowdonia. After that we've got a few weeks, a couple more weeks, and then a few weeks taper to the event itself. So that'll be really good, and I think, you know, there's some epic events there. No room for any breakages, any illness, any niggles or anything like that. So hopefully, fingers crossed, it's all going to go to plan. I'm going to bring you guys along for the ride, filming some, you know, all of these events and things like that, and doing some other training runs and things like that, nutrition runs and planning things and things in between. If anyone wants to join me on any of the events, I'll put all of these details in the description below, so check them out. They're really good trial runs. They're not too expensive, you know, and they've still got places I think available now. So if you want to join me for those, that'd be awesome. Or if you've done any of these previously, let me know. I'd love to hear from you. If you've got any course information for me, or if you've got any tips and advice, or if you want me to look at anything in these videos, you know, be great to see in the comments below. And in the meantime, I think I'm going to need all the luck I can get. So that's it. That was going to be about 5 for 25. So this was all happening recently, and I thought, right, okay, time to get some people on board. I always like when I get big goals to put them out there and actually spread the word far and widely, because I think more people that know, hence one of the reasons why I'm doing this channel, the more people that can follow and do it and see, and basically it keeps me accountable. And I think if you put your plans out there, the more people that know, the more accountable you are, and the more likely they are to come true. So put it out there. I thought, let's get some people involved, let's get a team together. Ultra marathons, 20Ks, 10Ks, there's something there for everyone. Even if you don't want to come on the big adventures, you can make 2025 your epic year. Put it out far and wide to my friends and see what came back. And basically, not a lot did come back. So Billy No Mates here was looking to do most of these things on his own. But in the end, we did get a few friends and family come on board for the 10k, and my son was up for the 10k and the obstacle course race. It is 19 now, and hopefully he'll be lugging me around because he's well into the gym and well fit, so he could be a good asset. So basically, a few people signed up for the 10k, and I've got the 20k obstacle course race and other things lined up. But then come along, and January the 1st, first week of January, a little bit of a setback. Yep, you guessed it, broken toe. So unfortunately, this is a case where the ice baths I've got into during lockdown, Wim Hof method and everything else, might be doing a quick video on that at some stage, but basically there's lots of great benefits to ice baths, really love them now. And also do the Wim Hof breathing as well. But it turned out that this ice bath wasn't quite so healthy. It wasn't really the ice bath's fault, but more the ice bath lid. So unfortunately, yeah, big wooden lid straight on my big toe. Put me out for about 8 weeks and really set back my plans. So January, February is a complete write-off. Couldn't start running, couldn't start training. Although I did keep my hand in, or keep my foot down as it were, on the spin bike, and kept up some gym sessions, tried to do a bit of fitness, strength and conditioning during that time. I'm just getting back into it now really. This week I've had this off a bit more, and I'm starting to wear normal shoes, been to 1 or 2 little jogs on the treadmill. So, but training doesn't really start till the first week of March. So that needs to be 19 weeks to go for the Ultra. It's not a lot of time for a new runner, and with plenty of events along the way, we've got to see how it goes. So that's a quick summary of all my fitness history and basically goals for 2025. Sounds like a really exciting year to me. I've got a lot coming up, short time to do it in now. It's now March as this is going to go out, so March, January, February, 5 months basically to be able to get fit for the ultra. And give us some any comments if you've got any advice or things I should be looking at or things I should consider. There's gear to be got, there's videos to be made, there's nutrition to be sampled, plans to be done, apps to be reviewed, and all sorts of things like that. So come along with me for the journey, subscribe, like, all that sort of stuff, and watch me do 5 in 2025. It's going to be awesome, you won't want to miss it. So fit at 50 something, stay tuned, and I'll see you soon.